got a screw
I'm
loose.
live.
I got a screw loose.
You've got a what?
I got a screw loose. Look, another
Screw loose?
Yeah, I got a screw loose.
Folks, he's got a screw loose. I don't know if I would admit that, but
welcome to
he's
the
got a
Screw Loose
screw loose.
podcast with the two loose screws.
We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
So-
We're back. We're back. Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Come on, you missed us.
Apparently not. Nobody's saying anything today in the comments. So
Well,
I don't even have friends in
they
this
still
little
have.
place.
They probably. What?
I said I don't even have friends in this little place anymore.
We're styling.
Anyway.
We're styling.
All
Like
right.
my new
so,
background?
I see your lovely background. You know what I mean? This means you're in the new house, right?
Yes, we're in the new house. So exciting.
Is that what that echo is?
And you know,
And you're freezing.
yeah, that's what that echo
And-
is.
and-
I'm
and
going to
you're
be putting
freezing
in
on
a carpet or a rug. Yeah. Better?
We're getting there.
Is that
It
better?
could be my
Is that
Wi-Fi
better?
today.
Oh,
My Wi-Fi is just it.
slowly but surely.
Yeah, for some reason or another, the Wi-Fi stops working about the time I have to do a show. Works fine all the
Wi-Fi?
time. Until I have a show, then all of a sudden it stops working. Gives me a hard time. Anyway. And yeah, to me, you keep going in and out, so I don't know whether I don't know whether we're live or
Yeah.
not. Are we live? Yeah.
Yes,
This is a humdinger of a day
we're live.
because I really cannot get anything on mine to go work.
we're live. There we go.
I'm testing my
There we
system
go.
because it doesn't seem. No, that's why. My
What?
internet's at half the strength it normally is.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Not good, folks. Not good. Internet's not good. No good. No good. Well, you know what? We're winging it here.
Of course we're going to
Doing
wing
our
it,
best.
so. Yeah.
We always wing it.
So,
So how was your holiday? How was your Thanksgiving?
well, we had a pretty good one. We had all the family here. All the kids were here and their partners. Basically, we had 3
Nice.
Thanksgiving meals.
Holy shit. 3?
Well, we did something on Tuesday because all the kids came over because we were setting stuff up around the house. Thursday was Thanksgiving, so everybody's here for the meal on that. And then Sunday, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they came over as well as the kids came because we went to visit the ice sculptures at Gaylord Texan on Sunday. So,
Oh, nice.
So everybody came over here first and we had another meal. So it's like almost like, and my daughter, I took her back to the airport last night and she's like, it was kind of good. I got to see everybody. And she said, it's cool because it's almost like we had 3 Thanksgiving dinners. So she said she felt like she got all the holidays wrapped into one. So. Anyway, and you locked up again.
We had a very quiet. Neighbors invited us over because we moved into our new neighborhood, moved into our new house, and there was no way we were going to be able to find a turkey. So she was kind enough to invite us over. We didn't have to cook. Awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah. So
It was very awesome. Very awesome. And I must say, moving is not fun.
I know. I just got done doing it a couple months ago.
Move. Oh my God, it is not fun. Not fun. Not my favorite thing to do. That is for sure.
Yeah, but now's when you have to go get used to everything because, like here, the internet's different. way we watch TV is different. You know what I mean? Our day's different, and we've had to get used to that over a couple of months.
Yep.
So, it's not like an instant
I
change.
agree.
Well, it's an instant change, but it takes a while to get used to the instant change.
I agree. Totally agree. It seems, I don't know. I'm still in a dream state right now. I'll wake up soon. But now I'm still in a dream state.
Oh, wow. There
We'll
you go, you
see.
walked
We
up
shall
again.
see.
So, like, you keep going mid-sentence and going,
Yeah, I'm getting it coming in.
all right, do me a favor. Go reboot and come back. Yeah. No. Do me a favor. We're going to do this to find out whether it's you or me, because you've got this ugliest face that you don't want to know. All right. Go reboot and come back in. Seriously.
Do what?
Reboot and come back in, because we are not connecting and I can't hear half of what you're saying. All right. So she just disconnected. Let's see how soon it is for her to come back. So, ladies and gentlemen, all right, Katrina's new house. So it's not working the way it used to work. She'll be back here in a minute. Anyway, let's try this again. How about now?
Better? Is that better?
Let's try it here for a bit and see if you keep talking to me, because you like every other word is coming in and out to me.
Yeah, and yours is too. So I don't know if it's just I'm not sure what it is.
I'm doing a connection test again on my computer. I've got a good connection again. Going download. It's testing.
Pretty good connection.
It's my upload. So basically it's the stuff that's coming up and me going up is just horrible right now. Anyway. We sound great. So John Block says we both sound great here. So it's probably just you and I can't hear each other.
So. I can hear you. It's just a little bit jerky, but I can hear you fine.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. I'm hearing you, but it's a little jerky, and I don't know whether it's the connection or it's just, it's not communicating today or what. So
I don't. It had turkey and the what is it? The treptitan.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, here I'm going to go do the same thing. I'm going to reboot and come back in a minute. So You hold the fort. I'll be right back.
I'm holding the fort down, guys. So hopefully you can still hear me. And we are testing the system because we're having technical difficulties, and it looks like my lights are ready to go out. I'm like going, ooh, might just be me.
How about now?
There we go. That's better. That's much better.
You look a lot clearer. I don't know whether it was just my system or what, but yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. We solved it.
We think we solved it.
Yeah, well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Anyway, let's start this over. Again, you had a full house of Thanksgiving folks, and you had 3 Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah.
And we went over to a neighbor's for Thanksgiving because we just moved in, and there was no turkeys to be had on the 23rd.
Well, I mean, it is now, a week later, all right, than Thanksgiving, but it's also, we're into December. We're into the last month of the year, right?
Oh my God.
Some of the things that I wanted to talk about today was just, the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're having the problems with the connections of the internet right now, but moving and new internets always becomes an issue. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. In our apartment that we were in the temporary quarters, we had what's known as CenturyLink out here. And they don't have files, it's just DSL. It worked okay because it was a small. But now out here, we're with Xfinity, which is Comcast, and it's Fios. So it's faster, quicker, but your hiccups along the way. But so far, I mean, I haven't had too many problems in regards to him.
Yeah. So out here, we moved out here, and we are, we have a high speed, which is like we have a gig of service supposedly, and
That's what we
but
supposed to have.
yeah, it's been known to be spotty. Like everybody in the neighborhood said, it's spotty. It goes in and out. All right, and my problem is like usually when it was me in the house broadcasting before, I just cut everything else and had the broadcast live. But now my mom uses a computer on the other side. All right. And she may have her TV going. If she has, we have the boy, and that's all trying to go through one bandwidth. So if it's spotty and we're all trying to go through that bandwidth, it plays games with me. So that's that's country. But a new company came by, and like they've been out here putting lines out underneath, right, the streets and above streets for a fiber optic system, right? And they came and knocked on the door and said, we're trying to sell people on installing this. And I'm like, well, let me go investigate first. I mean, before somebody knocks on my door and sells me something, I want to know who you are. I don't just buy it because you came to my door, right? So I looked up this company doing this install, and the town we're in, the town next door, which is Little Elm, there is a ton of complaints. It's all you can find on their stuff is complaints online.
That's not good.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want this company digging up my yard yet. It just so I'm like, I'm going to hold off. And my neighbor, same thing. He said to me, they came to his door and he was wondering what to do. And I said, I'm still iffy onto it because of the fact that, they don't have a good reputation, and it's not. I guess they don't host the service. They just dig up the line to bring it to your house.
Oh, yeah. So they're not the ones that do the servicing for the lines.
Yeah. So, but I did think about, I worked for a company in 2009 that basically operated, they framed their office so they had 2 or 3 different systems of internet coming in. All right. And they had a system so it would back up. If one system started failing, they could back up to the other. And I don't know how to do that. But I am thinking about getting a backup internet system here. I know it will cost me more money.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, because I'm like, I would love to be able to have it. So I know I'm always capable to broadcast, because I do 3.
Well, I know there are also those that are called the Nest, or they're extenders, so that they can get farther, because I know that sometimes we had to do that in the old house because of the way that it was laid out, and where the internet they put all the way at the end of the house. So because they put it all the way at the end of the house, it was real difficult to have it throughout the other parts of the house. So we had to put in extenders, and as soon as we put in extenders, we had no more problems.
So the extenders is one way to do it. There's a system out there known as, it's like an extenders, but it's not. It's a system that balances out the whole house. And it's not, it's like extenders, but it's a different system. It's built on a different platform. And there's 3 major people who are doing it. Google is one. And I forget who the other 2 are, right? One of them is through the company that makes a lot of the internet software, like internet routers and stuff. So I would tend to trust them. It'll cost about $400 to $500 to set up in the house. And I'm thinking of doing that because I could spread it between here and through the all the way back through my mother-in-law's suite to get it done. All right, and balance out. And I'm wondering if that would solve it, because I'm wondering if I'm in a dead zone.
That's possible. And you know what? It's interesting, because when you're talking about the internet, and I don't think people realize that the walls that they have in their homes aren't created equally. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there were times that I remember I was working at a business, and for some reason, just at my desk, my computer kept just getting zapped. No matter what I did, no matter what I tried, it was just getting zapped. Found out later that down below there was a vault of some sort that was causing the interference. and
Oh
that
wow.
they had to go in and they had to put in all kinds of things on the flooring so that way my computer wouldn't get zapped. So I think a lot of times we don't think about what's in our walls and how the structure of the house is built, and it can really affect our internet
Yeah.
as well as our electronics.
So,
And you have an older house, so I don't know.
I'm gonna
Very
look this up
possible.
again. I'm gonna look this up again. Is what this system is.
Well, I know, like I said, there's the system. There's one that's called the Nest, and it's like what you're talking about, where it has all these little individual. They're like cubes, and they go in all
Yeah.
various different corners of the house and in the middle of the house, and it evens it out. And it's called the Nest. And I think they're about $300 or $400.
I think Nest is one that's the one that's owned by Google, but it's one of them.
Yeah. I don't know I'm not familiar with the other ones, but I've heard a lot about the Nest. And I've heard a lot of people talking about how good it is and how it really evens it out, and it's much better for especially big homes, especially when you've got a lot of people on the internet.
I was actually at Best Buy and talking to the guy there about it, and he was explaining it to me. All right, but I have a friend who did. I think he did the Google one, so I can't remember what it was. Anyway, laptops, computers.
Yep.
I'm trying to find this system.
And we may do the same. We'll have to see, but we may do the same thing here because this is the first time I've done casting on this new system to see how it works. And I don't know if it's on your end or my. I think working on my end, but always fun stuff. Are you testing?
All right, so
testing.
it's called a mesh network. And yeah, you just went out again. No.
I'm coming back in.
All right, there you go. It's called a mesh network, and the one that Netgear has, the one I think it's called Orbi or something like that, and that's Netgear that creates it. And then there's one that's from there's one from oh gosh, from Google, and I want to say that's the one you're talking about. The Nest one is Google.
Yeah, I'm going to turn my fan on real quick. I'm going to be right back.
All right.
I'm back. Did you miss me? So anyway, as we know, the internet is not created equal, especially depending on where you live and your area and your house and the bearing walls. And there's a lot involved in it that a lot of people don't think about when they're putting in their internet for their house. So extenders is a good thing. The mesh, like you were talking about, which is the Nest and a couple of other things that are out there done by Google and other options. And I think even with some of the systems that you have out there, whether it be through Comcast or Xfinity or Verizon, I don't think Verizon's doing it anymore. That they used to, and I think they passed on files onto other entities. I think all they're sticking with is phones now.
I don't think because I remember when Verizon was the internet to get.
Yep. And now they sold all of that. They sold it all off, and now they're just dealing with the wireless phones and business phones. They're not doing any of that now. They've gotten out of the game.
Wow.
But the funny thing is that Verizon has most of the towers for all of this stuff. And so you've got your Xfinity and your Comcast and all these other ones, and they're utilizing the Verizon towers because Verizon went hog wild and put up all kinds of towers when they first started with, I think it was 3G.
Yeah.
3G. And they put up a bunch of towers. Now we're up to 5G.
Wow.
Which I've read too is not always that good for your not always good for your system in regards to your body. It's too many G's. I mean, evidently it causes what I've read is causes autoimmune systems and so on and so forth because of the rays, the mega rays or something of that nature. It plays with the body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hard to say. Be interesting to note that. And here's an interesting fact. I read that by 2050, I think it is, there will be no considered natural human left. And when I say natural, that means no cavity, no fillings because of cavities, no surgeries, where they've had nothing. No pens put in for, broken leg or whatever, that by 2050, there will be no such thing as a natural human being where they've had nothing done because we've all had something.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never knew that, but that was it. I thought it was interesting. It's like, wow. Interesting facts, folks. Like we're back from Thanksgiving. We're having technical difficulties here and there because it is what it is. We're both in new places and we're winging it along as we always do.
Yeah.
Would love to hear from you and what your Thanksgiving was like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we think about, well, I wanted to tweak and talk about a couple other things today. Is with the Wi-Fi. All right. So what do you do when you move to a new area? Do you search to see all the options out there, or do you just go with, this one? Somebody told me this one was the best.
I searched.
Do you?
I searched high and low. And here was our story. We were okay with Century Link.
Mm-hmm.
And I never wanted to go with Xfinity because they're part of Comcast, and I've dealt with Comcast in the past and their customer service wasn't always the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying my best to not utilize them. So when we got in, we called CenturyLink to just do a simple transfer. The guy never showed up. And when I called to find out what was going on, they said that he didn't have access to the house. I said, what does he mean? She said, well, he's very vague. He doesn't say. He didn't say whether there's a gate or I said, we've been home all day. There's no gate open in here. I mean, they leave the gates open in our area until 7:30 at night. So yeah. I don't see how he couldn't have had access. So needless to say, we're going back and forth, and I need to get up and running. So I called Xfinity, and Xfinity got me on quickly, got it taken care of, got the equipment in, done. So that's kind of what we ended up with. And I had done my homework in regards to the speed. And out here, Xfinity has the highest speed where it's 2 gig, it's like 1 gig, as opposed to Comcast, which the highest I think they had was 500 megabytes or so. It wasn't very high.
Yeah. I was looking at like AT&T. Now, I had AT&T when I first moved into the condo complex because I went with a name that I knew, AT&T. And I forget who it was, whether it was a Comcast company or it was a Charter. I can't remember who it was that owned the other competitor. But I didn't go with them because I was like, man, I'm going to go with AT&T because they're more trustworthy. And AT&T had it was so slow. And that's when I first started live streaming. Right. And when I first started live streaming, I learned that, how much I needed. So I then looked into other things. It's all right. I'll do it. I'll deal with it. Don't worry about it.
That is a pain in the butt. Go away, girls.
Anyway, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. But anyway, the idea of using AT&T because it was a well-known name was not that, because AT&T's service was not a high-quality service, right? So it couldn't take the bandwidth. So then I went with it wasn't Comcast. I forget who it was. I think it was Spectrum ended up owning it before we left, right?
Yep.
And Spectrum isn't available up here, but Spectrum was a very reliable service at the condos, and I would have loved to have continued it up here. But before we moved to the condos, we had the Verizon Fios, and when we moved to the condos, that was not available because there was no wiring in that 35-year-old complex for them to get in. All right, up here, all right, the cable comes in from the company is now called, it was called Suddenlink, but it is now somebody else bought Suddenlink, and it's a major company.
Suddenlink?
Huh?
What was it
It
called?
was Suddenlink, and I think it was bought by Optimum Internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it's got 1 gig. I mean, so it was I got a high thing, but like when I was talking to people at City Hall when I was first coming up here, and they said, yeah, it's kind of intermittent. It's not the most reliable. It blinks in and out, right? All the time. And I think the first 2 weeks I was here, I had 1 day outages. Like I was like no internet for a day type situation. I'm like, what the hell, man? I can't run, stuff like that.
Can't run a business that way.
Yeah.
No.
But now this other company that they're just putting the wires in, right? And then when I looked at their pamphlet and went to check, you got to pick when you go there. You've got to pick you know what I mean? Somebody, one of their providers who uses their wires.
The service.
Yeah. It's like they put the network in, and then they have all these providers that can use the network. All right, and you choose which one you do. And again, when the guy came to the door, he's like, well, we got to get you signed up today. I'm like, dude, I don't buy anything from somebody who comes to my door. Right. Period. I want to go search. I said, I'm an internet marketer, so I'm going to go search you. Right. He goes, well, I understand that. Right. But, when moving, all right, we're always used to what we had. And now we've got to adapt to something new. And the bottom line is you don't know what it's going to be like at the new place until you move there.
True.
So you're stuck when you get there. You're stuck having to make the best of it because you don't know what you're going to get until you get there.
Very true. Very true. And in our old neighborhood in Thousand Oaks, they had really bad service out there. And then we started realizing they were digging up things and they were putting in lines. Mm-hmm. And I realized they were putting in Fios. Mm-hmm. And so I contacted Verizon because we were Verizon customers already and asked them, is the Fios available? And they said, no, we don't have it available in your area yet. And so I called online. I went into the store, called online, and then the lady said, you're the very first one because we just literally started doing your neighborhood and so forth. And it was the best service I'd ever had. I mean, It was fast. It was reliable. It never went out. We never had problems. Never.
Yeah, and I never did. Before I did live stream with video, when I was doing audio shows, like I ran my Blog Talk Radio, I had no problem with it. But I always ran a hard wire, right? And in this case here, I still don't have a hard wire run to this room, and I should. That's one of the things I should do is get a hard wire to this room.
Yeah, hard wire it.
Yeah, because I've always run this main computer off of a hard wire, so I knew I always had a connection. And really, I could run a temporary wire every time I have a podcast through the living room, to where the modem comes in. But I wanted to move the modem to a different place in the house.
That's a good idea, though. I mean, if you're having issues, because my modem is right here in this office. So if I was having issues, that's a good idea. I'd just connect directly and it would be a lot stronger.
Yeah. So
it's a good idea. See? Good tip now. You folks hear that. If you're having problems, you just connect directly. Now, of course, if it's way down at the other end of the house, you're going to have a long-ass line to connect directly. Or you can get another modem. That's the other option, too. And get another modem on each end. But
all right. So I'm going to look up again that mesh network because I want to say it's like $600 or $700 to get it, but then you got to hook it up. All right.
Yeah.
And there's cheaper ones out there, but I will, I will look into it, like what I'm going to do with it for reliability. Netgear, but again, Netgear makes an awful lot of internet type material. That's what makes them stand out. But then there's a Google, and let me face it, Google has their hand in everything.
Pretty much.
It's trying to pick which one would be better and which one's going to balance out the system. So,
which, speaking of Google, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but have you seen any of the commercials? Because I know that even though we're not on cable, they're starting to do commercials for those people that have cut the cord a long time ago. And one of the commercials they're talking about, it looks as if they're trying to do what Amazon's doing and selling things online. And I mean, and I've seen it 3 or 4 different times now. So I think they're trying to be the next Amazon, so that you go to them and buy everything online.
No, I think they're still going to remain the information because, the biggest thing for them is, they connect the searches. They control the search environment in the world. Right?
They do.
Why would you try to build your own store when you don't have to pay for that infrastructure? You can just tap into somebody else's.
Well, and I think that's maybe what they're doing, but they're advertising that now they're going to be kind of the next Amazon, where you can purchase things online through them, and then they'll deliver and so on and so forth. So I'm sure they're utilizing something out there so they don't have to build the whole thing from scratch. But I thought, wow, they're really getting their feet into everything now, aren't they?
Well, do you remember the whole talk about, Amazon was going to use drones to deliver?
Well, they have, to a certain degree, they have, but it has to be very light. It can't be very heavy.
Yeah.
And it has to be in a local area. It can't be very far.
Yeah.
And they have been working on it. And even for heavier ones, they've been testing it where it's like a little robot that goes along the sidewalk. It's like, but the thing is what a lot of people were asking is, well, what's it going to stop somebody from taking it from the robot? I mean, how are you going to stop him? And they said that it's got all kinds of security, but I don't know. That's that poses a whole nother thing with our moving and our houses, and that is, are we going to come up with for better terms of words, a drop box system at our homes, to where basically they are not going to be delivering packages at the house. They're going to be delivering packages to a box you have set up. Either you can go to an Amazon box, but you have a box at your house that the Amazon guy has a key to it, and so do you. You know what I mean? The Amazon key's on the outside, your key's on the inside. So everything is put into that box. So exactly. Well, and that's just like when you have, we have a communal post office or post box here. Mm-hmm. And they have bigger boxes where they take the key out and they put it in your key box. And then when you see that, you unlock the box and you take the package out. And it seems to work. But the thing is these are mailboxes that, you think they were strong enough, but up a couple neighborhoods over, they had a break-in where they were just taking crowbars and opening them all up.
Opening the boxes,
Yeah, so how protected is your stuff, per se, if that's what it's going into? Almost have to be like a vault.
The bottom line is, every solution you create is going to create more problems.
Oh, of course.
That's just the nature of things. We're trying to solve the problems at hand, and when we solve that problem, we're going to have newer problems 6 months to a year from now because of the way we solve the problem.
The biggest thing right now in LA with the trains going through, they would slow down to wait for other trains and so forth. And while they were slowing down, there were robbers that were going in and taking all the boxes out of the box cars and going through them and stealing millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff, to the point where people said, we're not even going to run through LA anymore because it's ridiculous. We can't do it. They've lost so much money. But it happens all the time. So it's like, and now they're talking about striking, which would be a huge impairment on the economy, because the majority of things that we get come from trains, come from freight. And
trains.
We already had the shortages when it came to, and we already had the shortages when it came to the COVID then we'd have to deal with those shortages, because then if they went on strike, you can't get the products to the people. So it's, if you think about it, even though we have a lot of things in place where we've got boats and we've got trains and we've got airplanes and all these ways to get packages and supplies to people, if one of those chains breaks one way or another, it's that domino effect like we've talked about. It affects everything, and then everything comes to a standstill.
Well, I mean, you talk about this idea of, trains getting broken into. That was Hunts Point, New York, in New York City. Trucks. I haven't driven trucks since 1990. That's 30 years ago, right? They had an issue where trucks would drive down the streets and guys would unload the truck while it's moving down the street, unloading it off the back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You didn't stop it. If you were a truck driver going through to Hunts Point with food, you did not stop at stoplights. You kept rolling. You just steadily kept rolling.
Yeah.
That was the safest way that you hopefully wouldn't get robbed. That was 30 years ago.
And now and the thing is it happens. It always happens the most when there's economic issues, when there's a recession or anything going on. That's when this really it starts to peripherate. Peripherate. I can talk today. Yeah. But I mean, I just thought it was interesting when you're thinking about all of our structure and how our structures are made to get said product, like this one product you got to get to, which is just a duster. You've got to get it to the person that ordered this duster. But if there's one thing in that chain that gets broken, and it's not, and even if it's not to your effect, the company gets hurt, because a lot of people as customers are like, you told me I was going to get it a week ago. Now it's 3 weeks. Now it's 4. What the heck? I'll go buy it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You lose customers.
You do.
So how do you get, and when you're providing products for clients, or you're providing products for your customers out there, happy fashion, other things that you're dealing with, that you can't really control. That's why I'm in the service business. Yep. Yeah. That's why I'm in the service business.
We're back to like every other word again.
Oh, should I go back out and come back in?
I don't know what it is. It's just like the horriblest freaking day for internet. Horrible.
We're being challenged today, folks.
We sure are.
It's a challenging day. Can you hear me now? I feel like the commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
How about now?
Can you hear me now?
How about now?
Can you hear me now?
How about now? Yeah.
I'm clear on my side and I can hear you with no problems. I don't know.
No.
I have no idea. Not sure.
No clue.
Well, and I don't know if there's maybe it's because of my background. I can take the background off. That might help.
You can try it. I don't know if that's going to solve it. Well,
Ta-da! White background. Very, very bland, but that might help a little. Okay. But sometimes I know it slows it down.
Sometimes it's the stuff that's one of the reasons I don't add all these things to my broadcast, is because I want to get it as pure and clean as possible.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the littlest glitches that screw up an internet broadcast.
Very true. And look, it's much clearer now. So maybe that's what it was.
Wow.
There's no hiccups yet.
Well,
that might have been it.
Crazy. Well, we'll see. We'll see in a couple minutes. But anyway.
No, I'm gonna get a new picture that's gonna go behind me, so I'll have something. It won't just be. It'll be a nice background. I won't have to worry about doing any virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic to talk about. I've always never liked virtual backgrounds.
Well, I like them because, I mean, if you think about it, if you're in temporary quarters like I was, it made it nice because you're not seeing what's behind you. And I know you can blur it out, which helps too. But I don't know. I mean,
Wait a
sometimes
minute. Do we have in our settings a background blur?
yes, we do. We do
All right,
have a
here we go.
background blur.
Well, yeah, we do.
Yep, we do.
Okay. I didn't know. There's all the new things at StreamYard. Come on, did you see StreamYard's doing a webinar format?
Yep.
All right.
Well, I think a lot of people have been asking for it. I know I was one of them saying I want a virtual background, and trying to get a virtual background in StreamYard was not the best way to do, especially if you didn't have a green screen.
Well, a lot of times it was green screen was not the ideal thing.
No.
All right. So like right now right now you're frozen again. I'm staring at you're staring.
I'm fine. I can see you fine. I can see myself fine. I can hear you okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. It's just your face is your video is frozen.
Yeah, I can both sides. In fact, my video is doing much better since I took off the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm frozen on your end.
Yeah, it's
been a challenging day, folks, when it comes to technology. It's been a challenging day.
Yeah.
Just saying. And I appreciate those that are still sticking around and listening that it's like dealing with the glitches along the way. That's what happens. That's what happens. When you do a podcast, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's life. And we both have moved to new different areas. So it's all different and new, and internet's different and new, and trying to figure all that out. We'll get it dialed in. It's just going to take a little time. Yeah. We'll get it dialed in. Am I still frozen, or can you see?
Yeah, you're still frozen. This is the face you're making.
Do you want me to go in and out?
No.
Because I see myself and I see you with no problem.
I can just wait a minute. There's not a way to. There's not a way to. There's not a way to just put something without a video on my end. I can't attack yours. So anyway. But it's a lot of people have told me they're going with, a lot of people investigate now, Restream's getting better. Zoom. I have a lot of people saying, well, I'm just going to use Zoom. And I'm like, go ahead. I use Zoom for meetings, but I don't use Zoom for a broadcast because Zoom can only broadcast to one area.
What do you mean? Zoom can only broadcast in one area?
Yeah. I had an eCam account. All right, because I bought the eCam device for Mac, and then eCam went to a monthly subscription. All right, and I'm like, okay, I paid this one-time fee that I was going to have this software, and it said always updates always included, and then you go to a monthly fee, and I'm like, I'm not paying the monthly fee. No. Why? I did away with it because I'm not. I bought you because you were a model that I wanted. This and so many people are moving their models to monthly fees.
Well, it makes sense. You're getting consistent income.
They're trying to make consistent. Well, like I use my websites. I use Optimized Press. I used to buy Optimized Press, right? One version of it, and you pay for the now it's a yearly. You know what I mean? You have to pay a yearly membership to get it.
Yep.
So, and I was looking at Beaver Builder, same thing. All right. It's a membership that you have to pay per year or per month. I don't know what Beaver, they had a monthly, but.
Yep. So. I agree. But a lot of people are going to the monthly because, like I said, it's that consistent income.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So.
We've had our difficulties today, haven't we?
Yeah, this is fun. Woohoo! Woohoo! And I've been doing other shows, right? And I had no problem with it. This is the first time I've had a problem in a couple of weeks like this.
I guess it's just a special day.
Yeah.
Special day. But I have to say, though, it's been working better on my end since I took that backdrop off.
Yeah, of course. You're just frozen, just like this.
I'm still frozen on your end?
Yeah.
Here.
Hold on.
How's that?
Still. Hold on.
Better?
No, now you're black.
I can see both sides.
Yeah.
I'm having no problems on this end.
Hold on.
No
Watch this.
choppiness.
Hold on. Let me try to fix it this way.
Ta-da! I can see myself. I can see myself. And this line in my neck that's driving me crazy.
It's still showing you as a black screen on my end.
Yeah, I'm seeing no problem. My end is perfect. I don't know. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Well, you're gonna hopefully next show, Tim's gonna have his mesh all meshed up.
Tim just might, I'll tell you.
And it'll all be taken care of.
Yeah.
We'll all be set to go. Because I'm not having any problems on this end.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, let me ask you this. Why did you pick a StreamYard as opposed to Zoom to do your podcasting?
Because we're broadcasting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're broadcasting to 8 locations.
Well, I think Zoom is starting to get to that too. They're working on it.
Yeah, they can't go to 8 locations. All right. And Zoom also can't do where is it here? Zoom also can't do this.
Yeah, that's true. So what is your 8 locations that we're streaming to?
Yeah, see, we go to my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, our Facebook page, my Facebook group, my LinkedIn profile, my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and my Twitter feed.
But it all has to be on your end?
But that's all, yeah, because I'm hosting it.
Yeah, got it.
You can go to any one of those locations and share it. So like you can go to the Facebook one and share it to your Facebook group, your Facebook, you can go do shares, right?
Yeah.
All right. But you can do the shares to yours, but I can't do it directly to yours.
Yeah, it has. I think both of the different platforms have their pros and cons.
Here's a good thing that Alfredo says. Zoom is not a social app.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. It's not designed to socially engage. So you can't get if you're broadcasting with Zoom, you can't see the comments and bring them up.
That's very true.
We can bring the comments up like this of someone on Facebook, all right, or YouTube, all right, or Twitter, wherever they're at when they leave a comment, we can put it up.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So in other words, here's the tip. If you want to do a podcast show, StreamYard's probably the best way, especially if you want to get it out to the masses and be able to have more options. And connect with your audience in the comments and so forth. Whereas Zoom does not do that. Although I think down the line they'll probably end up doing something similar to it because they're competing.
They may, but literally their specialty is meetings.
Yeah, and really, webinars.
Zoom's specialty is their meetings. You can put a bunch. See, now we can't put 52 people in here.
No,
to talk. I can only put, I think, 9 total.
Yeah.
So, but I only do 2-person, and sometimes I've done a third-person shows. That's it.
Yeah. And that makes sense. You don't want too many.
I don't know.
Gets a little bit too much.
But I mean, I just got done writing my podcaster's startup checklist that I'm going to put out as my new opt-in. And one of the things that I wrote in there is, to make it simple, easy, is record your podcast with StreamYard or Zoom. And
yeah.
I break down why I choose Zoom and why I would choose Zoom and why I would choose StreamYard. StreamYard is because I'm broadcasting. It's a broadcast capabilities. Zoom, if I'm just going to record it, all right, and broadcast it later, Zoom is the tool to do it with.
Yeah, I
But you
agree.
can do it with StreamYard to record it and broadcast later as well. So,
But but they do it live. Where with Zoom can't do it live. StreamYard can do
well,
it.
yeah,
live.
that's with Zoom. I can stop and start a recording.
Yeah.
The only way I could stop and start the recording, all right, is entering or leaving the studio. I think on this one, we'll have to try it sometime.
Yep.
So,
Always want to test them out there because you never know.
Because I record a lot of my programs using StreamYard because I can set it up. I can set the view of how I want the program to look with StreamYard, and I record it without even broadcasting it.
Got it.
So, but you can do that with Zoom. You just can't put like the fancy layout like we have here with our logos in it. Yeah.
Oh, Alfred's asking, was it 6 or 10?
Was it 6 or 10 people in StreamYard seats right now? I think it's I have the top level, by the way. I had what was the top level. All right. They just changed it with this whole new with the new layout giving stuff with webinars. They changed the programs, and I'm at like tier 3, I think.
And so the higher tier, the more people I'm assuming you could include.
Yeah. Hold on a second. We're actually going to do a
We're going to test
look
it.
at it. We're going to do a look at it because we can, I think. Presenters modes, share screen. I'm going to do this screen right here. So this is what screen I look at right now for, but I have a thing for members, which I have you as one of my members. I could pay to have other people as my members, but broadcasts, where is it for my account billing? I'm at $468 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's my plan. All right. And I'm trying to see if I can find a place where we can actually find. Oh wait, here's C plans. So I am on this professional plan. They have the new premium and new growth plan.
Growth.
All right.
Now what's the difference? So they've got 4 different plans now.
Yeah. These 2 plans here, all right, are designed to have they're designed to have viewers viewing this as opposed to viewing on Facebook.
Got it.
Yeah. See, I can have up to 250 viewers if I do a webinar format. I have 250 viewers in here doing it with this new thing. But you know what I mean? I don't do broadcast that has 1,000, so I don't need that. Then they have the green room feature in the top level, which would give people a seat. Like I could put you in a seat in a green room, which we have a green room technically, where you can be sitting down watching it, right? And that's my green room.
Got it.
And I have to add you in. Right. So, but this one here, I mean, $39 a month. It says that's my current plan, but I don't know. I don't know what I had, well, you know, how they changed it. But here, if we did it to monthly, I pay yearly. So it's $49. Yeah, it's about the same price because I do yearly. I pay for all my tools yearly, which my biggest tool coming due right now is my here in December, my plan for Kartra, which is my most expensive tool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's something to think about too when you're looking at platforms and so forth, because I know a lot of people, I know you get a deal when you do the yearly, but when that annual starts to come up, if it's not set up or you're not prepared for that, it can make it a little bit of a hardship. And
see, this now keeps all of my videos here now too.
Yeah.
I started to put the videos in a different way too.
On the StreamYard, yeah.
Destinations. See, these are all the destinations I have, but I can put, I think, only 8 at a time. So in this case here, the top one's my Facebook profile. The second one's my Facebook page. This show is broadcast to both.
So these are all the broadcasts that you've got.
The Business G-Spot podcast, that's our page. That's you and I's page.
Yeah.
Right. The Bloggers, Vloggers podcasts, that's my group that I put to. That other blog and videocon group, those are only people who are in my they are in my virtual events membership.
Got
That's
it.
their group that I broadcast content specifically for them in there, and I use this tool to broadcast it there. I now have it to my LinkedIn profile. For the longest time, I couldn't get LinkedIn to my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and you see that I have my Twitter. All right, and then I have two other locations that I use for my other podcasts, like The Way You Drink.
Yeah.
So, but those are my locations, and all I have to do, I can add another location by coming here, and it asks where I want to send it to. Right? Hoppin, I think, is the company that now owns this. So.
And then and when you're doing these live, they go live to all of these.
They go live to. So
platforms.
our current one is being broadcast, and I can't. Let's see if I don't know if I can. Let me put it over here and see if it'll show it to you. This is the page, and if you see this top ring here, that's where we're broadcasting to now.
Got it.
All right. So.
Well, that's interesting. On your end, you can see kind of the pictures. On mine, they're blocked out.
What pictures are blocked out?
Your pictures on the side there with the comments, you can see, even though they're not really pictures, they're just the typical. Mine, they're blocked out.
Okay. No. So
it's interesting what you can see on both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, and I've yet to go test out the webinar feature. I may test it out running I'm going to do a virtual event on the 16th, is it, of December? Yeah, the 16th of December, I'm going to do a virtual event again, and we'll see how that works. That'll be the first time I may try webinar format and see.
You'll have to let me know.
And
are you doing the webinar format here, or are you doing it on
here?
Zoom?
I will use this tool. I've been using this tool to broadcast my virtual events since 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Zoom is my favorite, but I'm not as well versed in StreamYard as you are. Yeah. I'm more versed in Zoom, and I utilize Zoom for more things than the StreamYard.
Well, I use Zoom for meetings. So like if I'm going to do a mastermind type event, I will use Zoom because everybody can talk.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing an event where I'm teaching and I want the comments and I've got speakers and I just want the comments. So this is like a virtual stage. All right. Whereas Zoom is a virtual meeting.
Yeah.
That's the difference. All right. So if I'm having, a mastermind type event where I want to talk with everybody, I would use Zoom. So
I agree.
Yeah.
So depending on what you want to do, I mean, if you're doing podcasts, you want them to come across live.
Hey, Francine, it is good to see you, girl. And there's Alfredo over in LinkedIn.
Oh, now I see his picture. I didn't see it before. Yeah. Now I see it. It came through.
Yeah.
How odd. It didn't come through on any of the Facebook, but it came through on LinkedIn.
Some of the Facebook connections have been off. So I've been trying to leave comments on other people's live streams, and it just still shows me as Facebook user.
Huh.
And I'm like, I know my system's connected to StreamYard, and I keep going in and trying to reconnect it, but it doesn't change it.
Probably a disconnect on Facebook.
Yeah, and I think it's something with Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. It's a disconnect on Facebook side. So you learned today, folks.
Yeah. So.
Challenges that you have with podcast, and you've learned today too that if you're going to do podcasts, especially if you're going to do it live, and you're going to be able to stream it across several different platforms, the best option is StreamYard.
Yeah, it's in my opinion. All right. I always state that. In my opinion, StreamYard is the best. And I like it because I create a basic show. And I know a lot of other people do it. And I can do other things with this show. I could do this layout. Right.
Yeah, I know you have a lot more options.
There's a lot more options here. I could do it like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know you have a lot more options. So I think when you're doing podcasts, I think you're right. StreamYard is probably the best option than Zoom. But if you're going to just, if you're just going to videotape it, like you said, and then just put it across, and it's not going to be live. But then you're not really having that interaction either.
Yeah.
That interaction takes place later.
Yeah. So what I do, I record them sometimes, and then I put them out later.
Yeah.
Where I'm not here watching it.
And that's another thing too. I mean, I think that's a hard thing. That's something we should talk about on another show down the road, is how do you keep up with all of your social media and keeping up with people in the comments and trying to keep up with your audience. I mean, that's something
That
we
has
might
become a
talk about.
failure point for so many people. The busier and the more successful you get, the harder it is to keep up with all
Yep, I totally agree. And it makes it difficult. And you don't want to have just a robot saying, thanks for that, or
Yes, I don't do
know the
robot
difference.
responses, so it is very
Or
hard for me to
bots.
try to release
Yeah.
that.
So that's
anyway,
something we could talk about.
yeah, we're at the top of the hour, and I think let's put a period on this show that has been nothing but a fiasco since we started today.
But it's much better now towards the end. I think it was just
I'm still staring at a black screen, not seeing you. So
really, I'm seeing myself and I'm seeing you with no problem. So
and that's just
I
don't know if it's my computer or what, which I will find out here in a minute. So
now that's something to come up with, is something that you can tell whose computer is having the issue on each side. Then you can something to come up with. I'm sure it's out there. Just got to find it.
I bet you anything, if I rebooted my Google Chrome, that it would solve the problem, because Google Chrome also has given me headaches every now and then on this computer. This computer has been a fiasco for me since getting it.
So, maybe it's time for a new computer.
And this one here, the problem was this was when I moved up here to the new house, the CPU board went on the old one I had, and I sent it back, and they said it was cheaper they made a decision with the warranty I had to give me a new computer. This one has just got headaches using the internet.
Yeah.
And I didn't know whether it was the computer or the internet up here.
I think it's a computer.
I think it is, because I can do it with my laptop, and that's where I think I'm going to go with other things for broadcasting. I don't want to replace this computer. I just spent thousands of dollars building this thing last year. So, but I bought a used computer that they were supposed to refurbish, and they really didn't refurbish. They just added parts to a used computer.
Yeah. It has headaches.
Yeah. So
until next time, folks.
Next time. We will see you next time. So anyway.
Hopefully we won't have technical difficulties.
We'll get this improved over the years. Anyway.
Thanks for coming in.
We will see you guys next week.